Let's go then. Are you ready? This is going to be quite an interesting video. Let's see where my brain and subconscious take me. I want to talk to you about, first of all, fictions. When you get a letter and it says Mr. or Mrs., that's not you, that's your fiction. So it's a dead person, your corporate entity, your straw man, your state-owned name. So bailiff's letters, debt letters, creditors letters, anything that's got your surname with capitals, yeah, so it says Mr. David, middle name, Jeremy to capitals, that's also glossa, text, dogma, Latin, that's there to corrupt and to trick. So it's relating to the dead person, straw man and fiction. What's happening? We've got a de facto government. A de facto government is false. It's a false government. It's operating for the corporations. It's not operating in the public sector. It's operating privately for corporations. We are all corporations. We are enslaved. We are all slaves. When I say slaves, since about 1930 something, 33, when the registrations came into effect, and you give your informant, the parents who are already slaves, give the registration to the state, and the state recognise that and register it with the Cestui Que Trust. Cestui Que Trust, 1666. I've posted about that. You need to be up to speed with this. If you're not, then that's another little thing to go and research. Pause the video, come back. So slaves, Cestui Que, de facto government, false government. Look at what false means. I've uploaded the Black's Law 4th dictionary to the group. I've also uploaded the Collins or something, another dictionary, and also look online at your own sources of information. So what's happening? We are in an environment where you've just found out that you're dead, and also that you're alive. You just found out that only common law applies to you, and you've just found out that there's legislation, acts and statute law that apply to dead people, citizens and persons. When the person is called to court, they know they're calling the dead person. We then answer, open the letter, see that Mr. Such and Such has got a summons and a liability order for unpaid council tax, non-paid parking, PCNs, notifications, whatever it might be. And they try to take you to court. You go there, you guys go there, and you say you are Mr. Such and Such, the dead person. You go into the dock, you are served and dealt with under admiralty law as a civil, not in a common law environment, as a private issue, and it's a public civil issue that you answer for, because you've taken on and you've claimed the name of your straw man, your fiction, by saying, yes, your honour, I am Mr, rather than just saying you're the man, and then only there's one law applicable to your common law. But you see how it goes. So you don't realise any of this is happening. So what this government, for them to be able to do that and to be able to get away with this, knowing that we're all dead, but you guys don't know that we're all dead, but you're just finding out that we're all dead. Why haven't we been told? What is this situation at hand called, where you've just found out you can trust nobody and you've been lied to all your fucking life by the people that are there to put sort you out, give you information, put you to school, give you everything, and prepare you for when you grow up and be a man or a woman. Personage is what's happening. When the court systems know that you are answering and you are claiming the name and they're playing this game, it's called personage. You are then becoming surety for the straw man, the 2D fiction, and they're going to reclaim you under admiralty law using maritime and UCC codes, and you haven't got any inalienable constitutional rights to call upon because you've submitted and asked to be saved. You haven't represented yourself. You are not as king, ASKING, as king, or asking questions. You are at the mercy of. You are asking to be granted liberties where you don't have liberties. You have entitlements. Yeah, liberty and a freedom is something you are granted. You never want anything granted. Who is the boss? You are the boss. They are the servants. If you don't get them to serve you, they will be the boss of you, and then it's a role reversal. This is how this happens. When the lawyers then press charges, prosecute you, process you, sign your documentation when they're trying to represent you as a lawyer, but yet they're selling you like an attorney, turns you over for the bank, the judge, to roll out and open you up, gut you like a fish, when you think this is all serious and it needs to be done. Aha, little do you know. This is called barratry, when the barristers and the solicitors and the law society turn a blind eye and use the maxims of law where they say if if a man or woman is in court and he knows he has no power, he doesn't know he has power. So if a man or woman's in court and he doesn't know he has power, then they say he has no power. They're not going to step up and tell you. So unless you start listening to what we're saying and taking on the gravity of the situation with regards to the contracts, the contract law that's being applied, the trickery, the lies, the deceit, the gloss of text, you claiming the name, look at the Cestui Que, look at research the birth certificate, look at contract law, look at joinder. Look at when people ring you up, start asking them questions. When someone rings you up and asks to speak to a Mr. or Mrs., say, who is this please? No, you may not speak to them. Find out who's calling, find out why they're calling, find out what information they're asking of, remind them that you don't answer questions. If they are wanting any information and data submitting, then remind them there will be an administration charge for this. Do not give your information freely. Do not just answer and respond to any letter. If it has got a Mr. or a Mrs., it's addressed to the strawman and the fiction. So therefore you've opened a letter that isn't addressed to you. Therefore then you've rang up a number, then you've got in touch with them, you've claimed that name that they've sent it to. They're playing a game with you, and unless you educate yourself and listen to people and research and find out, don't just take David's word for it, because I could be a crazy loon. I'm on about you being alive and dead. I'm on about the government being a de facto government that's operating in a false capacity, that's serving notices on the free people of England that claim they have freedom, and is using the system to financially extract money for them for the benefit of the Crown State. Now that's quite a claim. Now how would one go about proving that? I've been doing it, and I've shown you everything, and I'm writing letters, and I'm proving that I haven't paid the state the monies that they're asking for in various utility bills and forms, because I've made a conditional offer of payment. Now, with regards to people wanting to remain anonymous and ignore things that are coming through the post because it's not addressed to you, it's in a Mr. or a Mrs., it's in a strange name that isn't yours, but you don't want to ignore it because you know what's going to happen. You'll get bailiffs, you'll get your car clamped, you'll get things threatened, you'll get demands made upon your person, you'll get summonses, warrants and stuff out in your name and issues to court. You need to deal with it, because if you ignore it, then ignorance is no defence, because they've already put that law in there. So sitting back will do nothing. If you have got a parking charge and the enforcement officer coming out to you from the Nottinghamshire County Court Business Centre, as it is, where there are no legally trained professionals, you can't put your car in a garage, you haven't got anywhere safe to put it, they will come and clamp it, they will commit trespass, they will touch your private property, and they will make your life hell. So what do? You write to them, use the free letter process. You must remain honourable. You must tell them how it is. You must point out certain lawful issues. You must point out certain legal issues. You must put down what capacity you operate in. You must put down of what you are responsible for. You need to quote lots of things. You need to learn lots of things. You need to know about the Bill of Rights Act, how the Bill of Rights and things like that. You need to know who owns what. You need to know about your sovereignty. You need to know about your claim of right and your birthright. You need to know about joinder and contract law. You need to know about registration and submitting. You need to know about representation. You need to know about glossa and dogma Latin. You need to know about legalese. Do I need to continue? Yes, to deal with these people, it's not just writing a letter. You cannot ever claim the name, you cannot ever accept responsibility or liability, you can never contract with these people. Whenever you do fill out a form and you sign it, such as a V5 registration logbook, I would recommend using UCC, Unified or Uniformed Commercial Codes. These are the business codes of the Admiralty law and the maritime courts and the maritime situation, of which they put Admiralty law on land, and they rule us as lost at sea and they reclaim us as lost at sea, and we are involved with the cash flow and the banks and the rivers and the current sea. Yes, we're in the sea, the current sea, and we are floating lost. I am actually on dry land and I'm secure, and I've told the CEO of the council how I operate. I've written a letter to Theresa May and told her how I operate. I've removed all implied access and rights from my property. I've put up the police borderline. I've written an affidavit statement of truth and served that onto the council and onto Theresa May. I'm in the process of writing a letter to the Attorney General. I use UCC codes when I sign for anything, like a V5 registration logbook, and I would be careful about who the registered keeper and the owner of such vehicle is. It's mental, honestly. Chicken Oriental. I've just covered there in those 9 minutes a fantastic amount of information. It's freezing out here. There's possibly a lot there for you to research, possibly days and days, maybe weeks if you're just a beginner. So I hope that explains a little bit more about the stance of which you need to take when you are thinking of opening letters, responding to a Mr. or Mrs., going to a court, claiming a name, going to challenge a debt, a third-party entity, a state-owned name, or a warrant, a liability order. These are always from admin courts and fake. These are all civil issues and don't require criminal courts and law systems. The police do only need to get involved to keep the breach of the peace. I've done a lot of recent posts, and the documents that I've put in the group at the minute are pretty hardcore. If you guys go and look at under the information button on the bottom right of Sovereign Solicitors, and you click on there, there's over 50 files which will arm you to the back teeth, pre-formatted letters, tried and tested letters, letters that have won, quotes, statutes, act, law, dictionaries, Black Law Dictionary, 4th edition, everything you will ever need. I suggest you go check it out. 10 minute, 11 minute video, done. See you in a bit. Ciao for now.